The name of this play is called Our Town, written by Thornton Wilder, produced and directed by Miss Virginia Poppy. In it, you will see Miss Ari Mealing, Miss Avery Thurston, Miss Juliana Da Silva, Miss V. Cottrell, and Miss Rihanna Howells, Mr. Micah Poppy, Mr. Bryce Hutchinson, Mr. Jack Farrell, Mr. Silas Meir, and Mr. Gavin Howells, and many others. The name of our town is Grover's Corners, located in Massachusetts, just across the New Hampshire line. Latitude 70 degrees 37 minutes, longitude 42 degrees 40 minutes. The time is just before dawn. This first act is called The Daily Light, which shows a day in our town. If you look up in the east there, you can see the streaks of light over the mountains. Morning star does get awful bright right before it has to go, doesn't it? Well, I better show you how our town lies. Up here is Main Street. Right there's the railway station. Tracks go that way. Across from that is Polish Town, some Canuck families. Down here is the Congregational Church. Over that way is the Methodist and Unitarian. Presbyterian's that way. Baptist is in the hollow down by the river, and Catholic Church is right over there. This here is the town hall and post office combined. Jail's in the basement. Brian has made a speech for these very steps here. Up on Main Street, there's a row of stores. Hitching posts and horse blocks out front. First automobile's gonna come along in about 10 years now. Belongs to Baker Cartwright, our richest citizen, who lives in a big white house up on the hill. Here's the grocery store and Mr. Morgan's drugstore. Most everybody in town manages to look into those two stores at least once a day. Right there is the school, just further over is the high school. The whole town can hear at 9 o'clock, noontime, and 3 o'clock the screaming and yelling coming from the schoolyard. And this is our doctor's house, Doc Gibbs. Here is the door. And here is some scenery for those of you who feel you need to have scenery. Here is Mrs. Gibbs' garden. Corn and peas and beans and hollyhock and heliotrope and a lot of burdock. In our day, the newspaper come out twice a week, and this is Editor Webb's house. And here is Mr. Webb's garden, Mrs. Webb's garden. About the exact same as Mrs. Gibbs. And right here is a big butternut tree. Nice town, you know what I mean? Nobody ever remarkable really comes out of this town, as far as we know anyway. Up there at the cemetery, the graves read 1670 to 1680, same names as around here now. Gibbses and Herseys and many others. Like I said, it's just before dawn. Few lights on in town. At the Polish cottage where her mother just had twins. At Joe Crowell's house where Joe Crowell Jr. is getting up to deliver the paper. Oh, and at the depot where Shorty Hawkins is getting ready to flag the 5:45 for Boston. Naturally, lights have been on in the country for quite some time now. What with Milkins and so on, but town people sleep late. So, another day's begun. Doc Gibbs is coming out of that Polish house right now, and there's Mrs. Gibbs coming downstairs to make breakfast. Doc Gibbs died in 1930. The new hospital is named after him. Miss Gibbs died quite a bit earlier. She was going up to visit her daughter, Rebecca, who married an insurance man in Canton, Ohio. And she died there, pneumonia, but her body was brought back here. She's up in the cemetery there now, and with a whole mess of Gibbses and Herseys. Oh, she was Julia Hersey before she married Doc Gibbs in the Congregational Church over there. In this town, we like to know the facts about everybody. Oh, and there's Mrs. Webb coming downstairs to make breakfast. Oh, and there's Doc Gibbs coming down Main Street. Oh, and there's Joe Carl Jr. delivering the paper.
Morning, Doc Gibbs.
Morning, Joe.
Somebody been sick, Doc?
No, just some twins born over in Polish Town.
Do you want your paper now?
Sure, I'll take it. Anything serious happened in the world since Wednesday?
Yes, sir. My school teacher, Miss Foster, is getting married to a fellow over in Concord.
I declare, how do you boys feel about that?
Well, of course, it's none of my business, but I believe if a person starts out to be a teacher, she ought to stay one.
How's your knee, Joe?
Fine, Doc. I never think about it at all. Only like you said, it always tells me when it's going to rain.
What's it saying today? Gonna rain?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Me ever make a mistake?
No, sir.
I'm gonna tell you something about that Joe Crowell Jr. there. Joe was awful bright, graduated head of his class here at the high school, got a huge scholarship to Massachusetts Tech, graduated head of his class there, too. It was all wrote up in the Boston papers at the time. Going to be a great engineer, Joe was. Then the war broke out, and he died in France. All that education for nothing.
Get out, Bessie. What's the matter with you today?
And here's Howie Newsom delivering the milk.
Morning, Doc.
Morning, Howie.
Somebody sick?
No, just some twins born over at Miss Groslowski's.
Tuesday. Time's getting bigger every year.
Gonna rain, Howie?
No, fine day. That'll burn through. Come on, Bessie.
Hello, Bessie. How old is she, Howie?
Going on 17. Bessie's all mixed up about the root ever since the Lockhart stopped taking the quart of milk every day. She owes me a quart just the same. Keeps scolding me the whole trip.
Good morning, Howie.
Morning, Miss Gibbs. Doc's just coming down the street now.
Is he? Seems like you're late today, Howie.
Yes, something was wrong with the separator. Don't know what was. Doc?
Howie.
Children, it's time to get up.
Come on, Bessie.
George, Rebecca. Everything all right, Frank?
I declare, easy as kittens.
Bacon will be ready in a minute. Sit down and drink your coffee. You'll be able to catch a couple hours sleep this morning, won't you?
Miss Wentworth's coming 11. Guess what? I know what's wrong with her, though. Something with her stomach ain't what it ought to be.
All's told you won't get more than 3 hours of sleep. Frank Gibbs, I don't know what's going to become of you. I do wish I could get you to go away someplace and take a real rest for a change. I think it would do you some good.
Wally, time to get up. Emily, it's 7 o'clock.
I declare, you have got to speak to George. Seems like something's come over him lately. He's no help to me at all. I can't even get him to cut me some wood.
Is he sassy to you?
No, he just whines. All he seems to think about is that baseball. George, Rebecca, you'll be late for school. George!
George, look sharp.
Yes, Pa?
Don't you hear your mother calling to you? Guess I'll go upstairs and eat 40 winks.
Wally, Emily, you'll be late for school. Wally, wash yourself good or I'll come up there and do it myself.
But I don't want
Ma, do I have to wear this dress?
Shh, don't make a noise. Your father's been out all night and needs his rest. I washed and ironed that for you special.
Ma, but I hate this dress.
Hush up, hush up.
Every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey.
Now, Rebecca, you always look very nice.
Ow! Mama, George is throwing soap at me!
I'll come up there and slap the both of you.
Hear that? There's a factory in our town. The Cartwrights own it, and it brought them a fortune.
Move it, Wallace.
Oh, Rebecca.
Oh, honey!
Now, children, I won't have it. Breakfast is just as good as any other meal and I won't leave you gobbling like wolves. Wally, put that book away.
Oh, Mom! By 10 I'll learn all about Canada.
You know as well as I do, no books at the table. As for me, I'd rather have my children healthy than bright.
I'm both, Mama. You know I am. I'm the brightest girl in school for my age, and I have a wonderful memory.
Eat your breakfast.
I'm bright, too, when I'm looking at my stamp collection.
I'll speak to your father about it once he's rested. Seems to me 25 cents a week is enough for a boy your age. I declare I don't know how you spend it all.
Oh, Mom, but I got a lot of things to buy.
Strawberry phosphates, that's what you spend it on.
I don't see how Rebecca's come to have so much money. She hasn't spent more than $1.
I've been saving up gradually.
Well, dear, I think it's good to spend some every now and then.
Ma, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you? Money.
Eat your breakfast.
School bell, gotta go, Mama.
Gotta go, Mom.
Walk fast, but you don't have to run. Wally, pull up your pants. Emily, stand up straight.
Tell Miss Forrester I sent her my best congratulations. Can you remember that?
Yes, Ma.
You look real nice, Rebecca. Pick up your feet. Here, chick, 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 chick. No, away with you. Here, chick, 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 chick. What's the matter with you? Fight, fight, fight. That's all you do. You don't belong to me. Where did you come from? Don't worry. No one's going to hurt you. Good morning, Myrtle. How's your cold?
Well, I still get that tickling feeling in my throat. I told Charles I didn't know if I'd go to choir practice as I wouldn't be any use.
Have you tried singing over your voice?
Yes, but somehow I can't manage to do that and stay on key. While I'm resting myself, I thought I'd string some of these beans.
Let me help you. Beans will be good this year.
I've decided to put up 40 chords if it kills me. The kids say they hate them, but I noticed they're able to get them down all winter.
Now, Myrtle, I have to tell you something. Because if I don't, I'll just burst.
Like Julia Gibbs.
Give me some more of those beans. Myrtle, did one of those secondhand furniture men from Boston come see you last Friday?
No.
Well, he called on me. At first I thought he was a patient, wanting to see Dr. Gibbs. Then he wormed his way into my parlor and... Myrtle Webb, he offered me $350 for Grandma Wentworth's old highboy, as I'm sitting here.
Not Julia Gibbs.
He did! That old thing! Why, it was so big I didn't know where I was going to put it. I almost gave it to Cousin Hester Wilcox.
Well, you're gonna take it, aren't you?
I don't know.
You don't know? $350? What's come over you?
Well, if I could convince the doctor to go away someplace and take a real trip, I'd sell it like that. You know, Myrtle, it's been the dream of my life to someday see Paris, France. It's ridiculous, I suppose, but for years I've been promising myself that if we ever had the
How
chance,
does the doctor feel about it?
Well, I did beat about the bush a little bit. Told him that if I got a legacy, that's the way I put it, that I'd make him take me somewhere.
What did he say?
Oh, well, you know him. I haven't heard a serious word out of him since I've known him. No, he said, it might make him discontented with Grover's Corner to go traipsing about Europe. Better to leave well enough alone, he said. Every 2 years he takes a trip down to the battlefields of the Civil War. That's enough of a treat for anyone, he said.
Well, Mr. Webb just admires the way Dr. Gibbs knows everything about the Civil War. He's one mind to bother about Napoleon and more over the Civil War. Although, Dr. Gibbs just being the greatest in our nation makes him in despair.
It's a fact. Dr. Gibbs is never so happy as when he's at Antietam or Gettysburg. The times I've walked over those hills, Myrtle, stopping at every bush and pacing it out like we were going to buy it.
Well, if that second-hand man is serious about buying it, Julia, you sell it. You'll get to see Paris all right. Just keep dropping hints from time to time. That's why I got to see the Atlantic Ocean, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry I mentioned it. Only it seems to me that once in your life before you die, you ought to see a country where they don't talk in English and don't even want to.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to skip forward a few hours, but before we do, I figured we want a little more information about the town, more of a scientific account. So, I've asked a professor from our local university to give us a few words. Professor Willard. Is Professor Willard here? Let me introduce Professor Willard of our state university. Just a few brief notes, Professor Willard. I'm afraid our time is short.
Grover's Corner. Let me see. Grover's Corner lies on the old Pleistocene granite of the Appalachian Range. I may say it's some of the oldest land in the world. We're very proud of that. A shelf of Devonian basalt crossed with vestiges of Mesozoic shale and some sandstone outcroppings, but that's all more recent. 200, 300 million years old. Some highly interesting fossils, I may say unique fossils, have been found 2 miles out of town in Silas Peckham's cow pasture. They can be seen at our university any time. That is, at a reasonable time. Shall I read some Professor Gruber's notes on the meteorological situation, mean precipitating, etc.?
I'm afraid we don't have time for that, Professor. Could we get a few words on the history of man here?
Yes. Anthropological data, early Amerindian stock, Cotahuachi tribes, no evidence of the 10th century of this era. Now entirely disappeared. Possible traces in 3 families. Migration towards the end of the 17th century of English brachiocephalic blue-eyed stock, for the most part. Since then, some Slav and Mediterranean.
And the population, Professor Willard.
Within the town limits, 2,640.
Just a moment, Professor.
Yes, indeed. The population at the moment is 2,642. The postal district brings in 507 more, making a total of 3,149. Post-mortality rates consistent. By my person's gauge, 6.032.
Thank you very much, Professor. We're very much obliged to you, I am sure.
Oh, no, man, not at all.
This way, Professor, and thank you again. Now, for a political and social report, Editor Webb. Editor Webb?
He'll be out in a moment. He just somehow cut his hand eating an apple.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Webb.
Charles, everyone's waiting!
Mr. Webb is the publisher and editor of our local newspaper, the Grover's Corner Sentinel. And there he is now.
Well, I don't have to tell you that we're all run here by a board of selectmen. All men go to vote at the age of 21. Women vote indirectly. We're a lower middle class town. Sprinkling of professional men here and there. 10% illiterate laborers. Politically, we're about 86% Republican, 6% Democrat, 4% Socialist, the rest indifferent. Religiously, we're about 85% Protestants, 12% Catholics, the rest indifferent.
And do you have any comments, Mr. Webb?
Well, it's a fairly ordinary town. Probably a little better behaved than most. Probably a lot duller, but our young people here seem to like it well enough. About 90% of them graduating from the high school seem to settle down here right to live. And those who graduating from graduating college can come back.
Does anybody in the audience have any questions for Editor Webb?
Is there much drinking that goes on in Grover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, I don't know what you consider much, but on Saturday nights, all the farm hands go down to Ellery Greengrove's stables and holler something. But, oh, and also we have one or two town drunks, but they're always feeling their remorses every time an evangelist comes to town. No, ma'am, liquor ain't a commonplace in the household. Well, unless in the medicine chest, of course. Right good for some snake hunt. Always was.
Is there no one aware of?
I'm so sorry. Could you come forward a bit so we can hear you? What were you saying?
Is there no one aware of social injustice and industrial inequality?
Well, everyone is. But for those who are mainly talking about it, they're always talking about who's rich or who's poor.
Why don't they do something about it?
Well, I don't know. It seems that most of us are all fighting for a way that for the diligent and sensible for a way they can rise to the top, and, well, for the lazy and quarrelsome, for a way they can sink to the bottom. It ain't easy to find, but meanwhile, we all try to do our best to help those that can't help themselves, and, well, for those that can't, we leave them alone. Are there any other questions?
Mr. Webb, is there any culture or other beauty in Grover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, there ain't much culture. Well, come to think of it, there are a few girls who play piano at high school commencement, but they ain't too happy about it. No, ma'am, there isn't much culture, not in the sense you think. But I do think it's time to tell you that here at Grover's Corner, we do have a couple of pleasures of a kind. We enjoy watching the sun come up over the mountains, and we enjoy watching the birds. Yes, we notice quite a lot about the birds. And we enjoy watching the changes in the season, yes, but everybody knows about that. But there are a few things that we do know of from outside of this small town, like Handler's Largo, or the Bible, Robinson Crusoe, as well as the Whistler's Mother, but that's just about as far as we go.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Webb. We'll go back to the town now. It's early afternoon. All 2,642 have had their meals and washed their dishes. The horses are snoozing at the hitching blocks. And the children come home from school soon. You know how it is. Oh, and Doc Gibbs in his office tapping people and making them go, ah. Oh, and there's Mr. Webb cutting his lawn. You know, 1 man in 10 think it a pleasure to cut his own lawn. No, sir, it's later than I thought. Here come the children now.
I can't, Louise. I've got to go home and help my mother. I promised.
Emily, walk simply. Just who do you think you are?
Oh, Papa, you're terrible. 1 minute you tell me to stand up straight, and the next minute you're calling me names. I just don't listen to you.
Mom, I never thought I'd get a kiss from such a great lady before.
Excuse me, Mrs. Forrest.
Why, George Gibbs, you better watch where you're going, young man. You've got no business playing baseball on Main Street. Huh.
So sorry, Mrs. Forrest. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
You made a fine speech in class today.
Thank you. I was prepared to make a speech about the Monroe Doctrine, but at the last minute, Mrs. Corcoran asked me to make a speech about the Louisiana Purchase. I worked very hard on both of them.
Gee, it's funny, Emily. From my window up there, I can see your head at nights where you're up in your room doing your homework.
Can you?
You certainly do stick to it, Emily. I just don't see how you can sit still for that long. I guess you just really like school.
I find it's just something we have to go through.
Yeah,
I don't mind it, really. It passes the time.
yeah. What do you say, Emily? We could set up a kind of telegraph system from your window to mine, and you could give me a hint or two on one of those algebra problems every once in a while. Oh, I don't mean answers, just a little hint.
Well, I guess hints are okay. So, the next time you're struggling with a problem, George, just whistle to me, and I'll give you one of those hints.
Emily, you're just naturally bright, I guess.
I find it's just the way a person's born.
Well, I want to be a farmer. And my Uncle Luke says whenever I'm ready, I can just go and take over his farm. And if I'm any good, I can just gradually have it.
You mean the house and everything?
Yeah. Oh, well, I better be getting off to the baseball field. Thanks for the talk, Emily. Good afternoon, Mrs. Webb.
Good afternoon, George.
So long, Emily.
So long, George.
Emily, come and help me string these beans for the winter. George Gibbs let himself have a real conversation, didn't he? He's growing up. How old will George Gibbs be?
I don't know.
Well, he must be almost 16.
I made a speech in class today. It was very good.
Well, you must recite it at supper to your father. What was it about?
The Louisiana Purchase. It was like silk off a spool. I'm gonna be making speeches like that my whole life. Are these big enough?
Try to get them a bit bigger if you can.
Mama, will you answer me a question? Serious?
Seriously, dear, not serious.
Seriously, will you?
Of course I will.
Mama, am I good looking?
Yes. All of my children have got good features. I'd be ashamed if they hadn't.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is, Mama, am I pretty?
I've already told you, Emily, you have a nice, young, pretty face. I've never heard of such foolishness.
Mama, you never tell us the truth about anything.
I am telling you the truth.
Mama, were you pretty?
Yes, if I do say myself. I was the prettiest girl in town next to Mamie Cartwright.
Well, then you gotta say something about me. Am I pretty enough to, you know, get anyone interested in me?
Emily, stop it. You make me tired. You're pretty enough for all normal purposes. Come along now, bring those beans with you.
Mama, you're no help at all.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. Have to interrupt again here. Thank you, Mrs. Webb. Thank you, Emily. I figured this is a good time to tell you that the Cartwright's interests are making a new bank here in Grover's Corners. Had to go to Vermont for the marble, sorry to say. And they asked a friend of mine what they should put in the cornerstone. Now, we're putting in a copy of the New York Times and of Mr. Webb's Sentinel. See, we're interested in this because some fella has found a glue, a silicate glue that they're going to paint the papers with and make it last 1,000, 2,000 years. We're putting in a copy of the Bible and of the Constitution of the United States of America and of William Shakespeare's plays. What do you say, folks, huh? What do you think? You know, Babylon was 2 million people in it, and yet all we know about them are the names of their kings or for the contracts of selling wheat or contracts of selling slaves. And yet, every night, the families came home for dinner. Dads came home from work, smoke went up the chimney. And in Rome and Greece and so forth, all we know about them or what they put in the comedies and poems for the theater back then. So, I'm going to put in a copy of this play. That way people will know this is the way we were in Grover's Corners. This is the way we were in our growing up, in our living, in our marrying, and in our dying.
1, 2, 3, ready, sing.
It's getting late. You hear choir practice going on at the Congregational Church. The children are at home doing their schoolwork. The day is running down like a tired clock.
Listen up, everybody. Music come into the world to give pleasure. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, sing.
Blessed be the
Softer.
that binds
Softer. Softer! Get it out of your heads. That music's only good when it's loud. You leave the loudest to the Methodists. You couldn't beat them even if you tried. Now again, tenors. 1, 2, 3, ready, sing.
Emily.
Hello.
Hello.
Isn't the moonlight just terrible? I can't work at all.
Emily, what'd you get for the third problem?
Which?
The third?
Wait, George, that's the easiest of them all.
I don't see it. Could you give me a little hint?
The answer is in words.
In yards. How do you mean?
In square yards.
In square yards.
Yes, George, do you get it now?
Yeah.
In square yards of wallpaper.
Oh, I see. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Moonlight is just terrible. And the choir practice going on. You know, I bet if you hold your breath, you can hear the train whistle all the way to Pontotoc. Hear it?
What do you know?
Well, I better get back to work.
Good night, Emily.
Night, George.
Now, before I forget, how many of you can come in this Tuesday afternoon and play at Fred Hershey's wedding? Come on, show your hands. Good, good, that'll be good, it'll be real nice. We'll do the same music we did for Jane Trowbridge's last month. We'll do the music, Art Thou Weary, Art Thou Languid. It's a question, ladies and gentlemen, make it talk. 1, 2, ready, sing.
George, can you come down here a minute?
Yes, Pa.
Take a seat. George, how old are you?
I'm 16, almost 17.
And what do you want to do after school's over?
Well, you know, I want to be a farmer on my Uncle Luke's farm.
You'll be willing, will you, to get up early, milk and feed the stock, and hoe and hay all day?
Sure I will. What do you mean, Pa?
Well, I was in my office today and I heard a funny sound. What do you think that was? It was your mother, chopping wood. There you see your mother, getting up early, cooking, cleaning, ironing, and now she has to go out back and chop wood just because she gave up and decided it was easier to do it herself than ask you. And you wear all her clothes and eat all her meals and just run off and play baseball like she's some hired girl we keep her in the house but don't like very much. I knew all I had to do was draw your attention to it. Here's a handkerchief, son.
Thanks, Pa.
George, I've decided to raise your spending money to 25 cents a week. Not, of course, for chopping wood for your mother, because that's a present you should give her, but because you're getting older, and I imagine there's more things you can find to spend it on. Your payday is this Friday, so you can count on it. I expect Rebecca to think she have more too. Man, wonder what's taking your mother so long. Choir practice has never gone this late before.
It's only 8:30, Pa.
I don't know why she's in that old choir anyway. She has no more voice than an old crow. Traipsing around town at this time of night. Just about time you retired, don't you think?
Yes, Pa.
Good night, Martha. Good night, Mr. Foster.
I'll tell Mr. Webb. I'm sure he'll want to put it in the paper.
My, it's late.
Oh, good night, Irma.
It's a real nice choir practice, wasn't it? Why, Myrtle Webb, look at that moon. It's potato weather for sure.
Naturally, I wasn't going to say anything in front of the others. But now that we're alone, really, it is the worst scandal that ever was in this town.
What?
Simon Stimson.
Now, Luella.
But Julia, to have the organist of a church drinking and drunk year after year, you know he was drunk tonight.
Now, Luella, we all know about Mr. Stimson, and we all know about the troubles that he's been through. And Dr. Ferguson knows too. And if Dr. Ferguson keeps him on there in his job, then the only thing the rest of us can do is just not to notice it.
Not to notice it, but it's getting worse.
No, it isn't, Luella. I've been in that choir twice as long as you have. It doesn't happen near as often. My, I hate to go to bed on a night like this. The kids will be up all hours waiting. Good night, Luella.
You can get home safe, can't you, Luella?
It's as bright as day. I can see Mr. Soames scowling at the window now. You think we've been to a dance the way the menfolk carry on?
Well, we had a real nice time.
You're late enough.
Why, Frank, it isn't any later than usual.
And you stopping at the corner to gossip with a lot of hens?
Now, Frank, don't be grouchy. Come outside and smell the heliotrope in the moonlight. Isn't that wonderful? What did you do the rest of the time I was away?
Oh, I read, as usual. What were the girls gossiping about tonight?
Well, believe me, Frank, there is something to gossip about.
Simon Stinson's far gone, was he?
Worst I've ever seen him. How will that end, Frank? Dr. Ferguson can't forgive him forever.
I guess I know more about Simon Stinson's affairs than anybody else in this town. Some people just aren't made for small town life. But there's nothing we can do now but just leave it alone. Come, Julia, get in.
Not yet. Frank, I'm worried about you.
What are you worried about?
Well, I think it is my duty to make plans for you to get a real rest for a change. In fact, if I get that legacy, I'm going to insist on it.
Now, Julia, there's no sense in going over this again.
Frank, you're just unreasonable.
Julia, get in. There's no time for this. First thing you know, you'll catch your death of cold. You know, I gave George a piece of my mind tonight. I think you'll have your wood chopped for a little while anyway. No, start getting upstairs.
Oh dear, there's always so many things that need picked up. You know, Frank, Mrs. Fairchild says they lock their front door every night. All the people up in that part of town do.
They're getting cityified, that's their problem. They have nothing fit to burgle, and everybody knows it.
Get out, Rebecca. There's only room for one at this window. You're always spoiling everything.
Well, let me look. Just a minute.
Go use your own window.
Well, I did, but there's no moon there. George, dude, I think the moon is getting nearer and nearer, and soon there'll be a big explosion.
Rebecca, you don't know anything. If the moon were really getting near, all those folks who sit up all night with their telescopes would see it first, and then they'd start telling all about it, and then it'd be all over the newspaper.
George, is the moon shining on South America and Canada and half the whole world?
Well, probably is.
9:30. Most everybody in town is in bed or have their lights off or... No. There's Constable Warren coming down Main Street checking some doors, and there's Mr. Webb after putting his newspaper to bed.
Good evening, Bill.
Evening, Mr. Webb.
Quite a news tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Everything on our quiet.
Oh, Simon Stinson's rolling around. His wife just went out to go hunt for him, so I looked the other way. Oh, there he is now.
Good evening, Simon. Town seems to have settled down pretty nice for the night. Good evening. The town is getting pretty quiet. You know, everything's settling down. You know, I think it's about time that you and I start heading home. Mind if I start walking with you? Good night.
I'm not sure that's good, Mr. Wood.
He's seen a peck of trouble, one thing after another. Oh, Bill, if you see my boy smoking any cigarettes, make sure you give him a word, all right? He looks quite a bit to you.
Oh, I don't think your boy smokes no cigarettes. At least not 2 or 3 a year.
Well, I hope not. Good night, Bill.
Night, Mr. Webb.
Who's up there? Myrtle, is that you?
No, it's just me, Papa.
Why aren't you in bed?
I don't know. I just can't sleep. The moonlight's so wonderful. And the smell of Mrs. Gibbs's heliotrope, can you smell it?
Well, having any troubles on your mind?
Troubles, Papa? No?
Oh, all right. Don't let your mother catch you. Good night, Emily.
Good night, Papa.
I never told you about that letter Jane Crawford got from the minister when she was sick. He wrote Jane a letter, and on the envelope it was just like this. Jane Crawford, the Crawford Farms, Grover's Corner, Sutton County, New Hampshire, United States of America.
What's so funny about that?
But listen, it isn't finished. The United States of America, the continent of North America, the Western Hemisphere, Earth, the solar system, the universe, the mind of God. And that's what it said on the envelope.
What do you know?
And the postman brought it just the same.
What do you know?
That's the end of the first act, folks. Go get a drink if you need it. Years have gone by, friends. Sun's come up over 1,000 times. Rain has pushed some dirt down the mountains. We've gone back a few fractions of an inch. Babies who weren't even born yet have already begun talking, and some young people who thought that they were young and spry have found that they can't bound up a flight of stairs quite like they used to. Nature's been pushing and contriving in other ways, too. A number of young people have hopped up and got married. Winters and summers have cracked the mountains a little bit more. Thousands of gallons of water have gone by the mill. And every here and there, a new house is set up under a roof. Most everybody in the world gets married. You know what I mean? First act is called The Daily Life. This act is called Love and Marriage. And the third act, well, you can guess what that's about. So, 3 years later, July 7th, 1904, just after high school commencement. This is when a number of our young people find themselves fit to be married. After they've passed their solid geometry and Cicero's orations, they hop up and get married. Time is just before dawn. Except this time, it's raining, it's pouring. All yesterday, and today too. Mrs. Gibbs' garden over there, all the peas and beans drenched, and all of Mrs. Webb's garden, all the sunflowers and hollyhocks drenched. And all yesterday, on Main Street, it looked like a curtain of water being blown along. It might start up again any minute. And there's the 5:45 for Boston. And here's Mrs. Gibbs and Mrs. Webbs coming downstairs as if it were any normal day, making breakfast. I'd point out to the women in my audience that these two ladies they see before them have cooked 3 meals a day, one for 20 years, the other for 40, raised 2 children apiece, kept and managed a home, and never had a nervous breakdown. It's like what one of those Midwest poets said. You gotta have life to love life, and you gotta love life to have life. It's what they call a vicious circle. Oh,
Get out, Bessie.
And here comes Howie Newsome delivering the milk.
Morning, Howie.
Morning, Si. Anything in the papers I ought to know?
Nothing much, except we're losing about the best baseball pitcher Grover's Corners have ever seen. George Gibbs.
Reckon he is.
He could hit and run bases, too.
Yep, mighty fine ball player. Well, Bessie, guess I could stop and talk if you got a mind to.
I don't get how he could give up a thing like that just to get married. Could you, Howie?
Can't tell, Si. Never had no talent that way. You're up early, Bill.
Oh, seeing if there's anything I can do to prevent a flood. River's been rising all night.
Cy Crowell here is all worked up about George Gibbs retiring from baseball.
Yes, sir, that's the way it goes. Back in '84, we had a player, not even George Gibbs could touch him, by the name of Hank Todd. Went down to Maine and became Parsons. Mighty fine ball player. How's it look to you, Howie?
Oh, it ain't bad. Think maybe to clear it for good.
Oh, good morning, Howie. Do you think it's gonna rain again?
Rained so hard, I think I might clear it for good. How much did you want today?
Oh, I'm gonna have a house full of relations, Howie. Looks to me like I'll be needing 2 of milk and 3 of cream.
My wife tells me to tell you both that they'll be very happy, Miss Gibbs. No, they will.
Thanks, Howie. Tell your wife I hope she makes it to the wedding.
Yes, she'll be there. She'll be there if she can. Morning, Miss Webb.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Newsome. I know I told you 4 quarts of milk, but I hope you can spare me another.
Yes, and the 2 of cream?
Is it gonna rain again, Mr. Newsome?
I was just talking to Miss Gibbs about how I think it might clear it for good. And my wife, Miss Newsome, tells me to tell you both that they'll be very happy, Miss Webb. No, they will.
Thank you, and thank Mrs. Newsome, and we're counting on seeing you at the wedding.
Yes, we'll be there. Couldn't miss that. Come on, Bessie.
Well, Ma, the day's finally come. You're losing one of your chicks.
Don't you start that, Frank Gibbs. I feel like crying every minute.
Groom's upstairs shaving himself, only there ain't an awful lot to shave. Whistling and singing like he's happy to leave us. Every now and again I hear him say, I do in the mirror, but it doesn't sound very convincing to me.
I declare, Frank, I don't know how he'll get along. I've laid out all his clothes and made sure he puts warm things on. Frank, they're too young. Emily won't think of such things. He'll catch his death of cold within a week.
You know, Julia, I was just thinking about my wedding day.
Don't you start that, Frank Gibbs.
I was the scaredest fella in the state of New Hampshire. I thought I'd make a mistake for sure. But when I saw you coming down that aisle, you were the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. The only thing is I'd never seen you before. There I was in the Congregational Church marrying a total stranger.
And how do you think I felt? Frank, weddings are perfectly awful things. Farces, that's what they are. Here, I made you something.
Why, Julia Hersey, French toast.
Well, tain't hard to make, and I had to do something.
How'd you sleep last night, Julia?
Well, I heard a lot of the hours struck off.
Yes, I get a shock every time I think of George setting out to be a family man. That great gangling thing. I'll tell you, the relationship between a father and son is the darndest, awkwardest
Well,
thing.
mother and daughter's no picnic, let me tell you.
They'll have their troubles, I suppose, but everyone's got a right to their own troubles.
Yes, people are meant to go through life 2 by 2. Tain't natural to be lonesome.
You want to know one of the things I was most scared of when I married you, Julia?
Now go along with you.
I thought we wouldn't have enough conversation more than last us a few weeks. I thought we'd run out and just eat our meals in silence. But here we are. We've been conversing for almost 20 years with no noticeable barren spells.
Well, good weather, bad weather. Tain't very choice, but I always find something to say. Do you hear Rebecca stirring around up there?
No, only time of the year she's not up there managing everybody else's business. She's locked herself in her room. I got the impression she's crying.
Lord's sake, this has got to stop. Rebecca! Come get your breakfast!
Good morning, everyone. Only 5 more hours left to live.
George Gibbs, where do you think you're going?
Just stepping across the grass to see my girl.
You put your shoes on, it's raining torrents.
Oh, Mom, but it's just a step.
George Gibbs, you'll catch your death of cold and cough all throughout the service.
George, listen to your mother.
From tomorrow on, you can kill yourselves in all weather, but while you're in my house, you'll live wisely, thank you. Now, maybe Mrs. Webb isn't used to visitors at 7 in the morning, so why don't you drink this cup of coffee before you go over?
I'll be just a minute. Morning, Mother Webb.
Goodness, you frightened me, George. Now, George, you've been coming out of the rain, but you know I can't ask you in.
Oh, why not?
George, you know as well as I do, the groom can't see the bride on the wedding day, not until he sees her in church.
Oh, but that's just a superstition. Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Good morning, George. You know, there's sense in some superstitions.
Millions have followed it, George. You don't want to be the first to find the face of custom.
How's Emily?
I haven't heard a sound out of her. She's been asleep.
Emily's asleep?
No wonder. We were up all hour sewing and packing. Now, I'll tell you what you'll do. You'll sit down here and have a cup of coffee with Mr. Webb, and I'll go see if Emily won't come and surprise you. There's bacon, too, but don't be long about it.
So, George, how is everything?
It's fine, Mr. Webb, it's fine. No. Mr. Webb, what sense could there be in a superstition like that?
Well, George, I don't know. A girl's probably, a girl's head is probably full of, lots of things. Preparing for the wedding, you know, hair, clothes, makeup. Don't you think that's about it?
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
And besides, a girl's apt to be a mite nervous on her wedding day.
Yeah, I wish a fella could get married without all that marching up and down.
Well, George, a man's gonna experience this at least once in his life. Well, it's the woman folk thing. You know, they're always making sure everything's primed and ready. And also, the man looks pretty small in a way. But again, you leave it to the women. All those good women, making sure that the knot's tied in a mighty public way.
But you believe in it, don't you, Mr.
Oh, yes, George. Yes, all right. Don't get me wrong. Marriage is a wonderful, wonderful thing. All right? Remember that, okay?
Mr. Webb, how old were you when you got married?
Well, you see, I'd just gotten out of college and been looking for a place to settle down. And I think Myrtle was around maybe Emily's age. And, age doesn't matter much in this, not compared to with other things.
What were you gonna say, Mr. Webb?
Oh, I don't know, George. Was I gonna say something? Actually, I was thinking on some advice that my father gave me before the night of my wedding. And he sat me down and said, "Now, Charles, listen here, all right? You want to start out strong by giving your wife a bunch of orders. Doesn't matter if they make sense, just as long as it brings a point across. And you gotta show her who's in charge." And then next he said to me, "Now, Charles, if anything about your wife annoys you, about her boys, her conversation, anything at all, just leave the house." Oh, and then the last thing he said to me was, "Never, ever tell your wife how much money you make. Ever!"
Well, Mr. Webb, I don't think I could.
Now, George, I didn't follow my father's advice, and I've been happily married ever since. And I came to realize, George, that you should never ask advice on personal matters. Are you going to raise chickens on your farm, George?
What?
Are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
Well, my Uncle Luke's never been that much interested.
Now, you see, George, a book came into my office the other day on the Philo system of raising chickens. Now, it says here that you should start out small. So I was thinking of maybe putting something in the backyard. Oh, and also there's this incubator that happened. I was thinking of maybe putting that accelerator.
Charles? Are you talking about that old incubator again? I thought you two would be talking about something worthwhile.
Well, if you want to give the boy a piece of some good advice, then I'll leave you two to it.
George, Emily needs to come down and eat for breakfast. She sends you her love, but she does not want to lay eyes on you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Myrtle, you know that other older superstition?
What do you mean, Charles?
Well, you see, since the day of pavement, a bridegroom is never supposed to see his father-in-law on the day of the wedding. Now remember.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Webb. Now I'll have to interrupt here. You see, I'm awfully interested in how things like this begin. This marriage, this plan to spend a lifetime together. You know how it is. You're 20, you make a few decisions, and then, whoosh, it's been 50 years. You've been a lawyer for 50 of them, and that white-haired lady at your side has eaten over 50,000 meals with you. So, how do such things begin? Well, George and Emily are going to show us the moment that they knew that they were, as the saying goes, they were meant for one another. Now, before they do, I want you to remember what it was like when you were first in love. When you were like a person sleepwalking. You didn't quite hear everything that was said to you. You didn't quite understand what was going on. You were just a little bit crazy. Will you remember that, please? Now, George and Emily will be coming out of high school in just a minute. George has just been elected class president, and as it's June, he will be class president for all of the senior class as well. Oh, and Emily's just been elected as secretary and treasurer. I don't have to tell you how important that is. Here they are, coming down Main Street now.
Aunt Louise, I've got to go home. Oh, Ernestine, could you come over later and help me with that Latin? Isn't that sister just the worst thing? Goodbye, goodbye Helen, goodbye Fred.
Could I carry your books home for you, Emily?
Thank you. It isn't far.
Oh, excuse me a minute, Emily. Say, Bob, if I'm a little late to practice, start it anyway. And make sure to give Herb some long high ones.
Bye, Lizzie.
Oh, goodbye, Lizzie. Emily, I'm awfully glad you were elected too.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
But you've been treating me so funny lately.
Well, since you ask, I might as well say it right out, George. Goodbye, Mrs. Corcoran.
Goodbye, Miss Corcoran. No, what is it?
I don't like the whole change that's come over you in the last year. Sorry if it hurts your feelings, but I've got to tell the truth and shame the devil.
Change? What do you mean?
Well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. And I used to watch you as you did everything because we'd been friends so long, and then suddenly you started spending all your time at baseball. And you never even stopped to speak to anybody anymore, not even to your own family you didn't. And George, it's a fact you've got awful conceited and all the girls say so. They may not say it to your face, but it's what they say about you behind your back, and it hurts me to hear them say it, but I've got to agree with them a little. Sorry if it hurts your feelings, but I can't be sorry I said it.
I'm glad you said it, Emily. I never knew such a thing was happening to me. I guess it's hard for a fella not to have faults creep into his character.
I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
Well, I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
Well, my father is. And as far as I can tell, your father is, so there's no reason why you shouldn't be too.
Emily, I actually think it's the other way around, that boys aren't naturally good, but girls are.
Well, you might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be as perfect as a man. Girls are more nervous. Now, I'm sorry I said anything. I don't know what made me say it.
Emily!
Now I see that it's not true. Suddenly I feel as though it's not important anymore.
Emily, do you want to come with me and get an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Thank you. I would.
hello, Mr. Morgan. Oh, good afternoon, Miss Slocum.
Why, hello, George. Hello, Emily. Why? Miss Emily Webb, what you been crying about?
She had an awful scare, Mr. Morgan. She almost got hit by that hardware store wagon. Everyone knows Tom Huckins drives like a crazy man.
Why, I tell you, gotta look both ways before you cross Main Street these days. Here, have a glass of water. So, what do y'all have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate, thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Oh, no. Have an ice cream soda with me, Emily. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas coming right up. There are 125 horses in Grover's Corner this moment I'm talking to you. The state inspector was in here yesterday. They're now bringing in these things called, automobiles. Yeah. Why? Gotta look both ways nowadays. Why, I remember the day that a dog could fall asleep in the middle of Main Street and nothing would come along to bother it. Well, here are those 2 strawberry ice cream sodas for you. Enjoy. Oh, yes, Miss Corcoran, how can I help you?
They're so expensive.
Don't think about that, Emily. We're celebrating our election. And you know what else I'm celebrating?
No.
I'm celebrating that I've got a friend who tells me the things that ought to be told to me.
Oh, George, don't think of that. I don't know why I said it. It's not true. It's just...
No. You stick to it, Emily. I'm glad you said what you said. And you'll see. I'm gonna change so quick. You bet I'm gonna change. And I wanna ask you a favor, Emily.
What?
If I do end up going to state agriculture school, will you end up writing me a letter every once in a while?
I certainly will, George. I certainly will. You know, I bet after a while letters from Grover's Corners wouldn't seem so interesting. It's not very important when you think of all New Hampshire, but I think it's a lovely town.
I don't think there will ever be a day where I'm not interested in what's happening here. I know that's true, Emily.
Well, try to keep my letters interesting then.
You know, Emily, whenever I meet a farmer, I always try and ask him if he thinks it's important to go to state agriculture school to be a good farmer.
Like George.
And most of the time they say it's not worth it. I mean, you can get all that information anyways out of the pamphlets the government hands out. And plus, my Uncle Luke's getting old. He'd be about ready for me to take over the farm tomorrow if I could.
Oh, my.
And it's like you always say, Emily, going to new places, meeting new people. Gosh, if I have to do that when I go away, I don't want to go away. And I guess new people aren't always as good as old ones. And I guess that's almost always true. Emily, you're as good of a friend as I've got. And if I have you, I don't need to go away.
George, what if it's very important for you to go off and learn about cattle judging and soils, and of course I don't know.
You know what, Emily? I'm gonna make up my decision right now. I'm not gonna go to state agriculture school. I'm gonna tell my pa about it tonight.
George, I don't see why you have to make this decision right now. It's not for another year.
Emily, I'm glad you said what you said about that fault in my character, but you did get one thing wrong. When you said for a whole year I wasn't noticing anyone or what they were doing. You, for instance, when you said you were noticing everything about me, I was noticing everything about you too. Emily, you've always been one of the chief people I think about. Whether it was where you were sitting on the bleachers, who you were with, I've always noticed. And for the past few days now, I've been trying to walk home with you from school, but something's always gotten in the way. Just the other day, I was standing against the wall waiting for you, but then I watched you go home with Miss Corcoran instead.
But George, life's awful funny. How could I have known that? I thought that...
Well, Emily, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to state agriculture school. I think once you found a person that you're very fond of, and that's very fond of you too. I mean, and is genuinely interested in your character. I think that's much more important than any school can be. At least that's what I think, Emily.
I think so too.
Emily?
Yes, George?
If I could change, would you?
I am now. I always have been.
So I guess this is an important conversation we've been having.
Yes.
Yes.
Here, wait right here, Emily. Oh, Mr. Morgan, it seems I left the money to pay for this at home. I need to go run and get it.
Why, George Gibbs, you don't mean to tell me.
Trust me, I have reasons, Mr. Morgan. Also, here, you can take my golden watch while you wait. I'll be just...
Keep your watch, George. I'll trust you.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'll trust you 10 years, George. Day over. Got all over your shopping, Emily.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. It was nothing.
I'm ready.
Well, now we're ready to get on with the wedding. There are a lot of things to be said about a wedding, a lot of thoughts that go on during them too. We can't get them all into one wedding, naturally, especially not a wedding in Grover's Corners where they're awfully plain and short. In this wedding, I play the minister. That gives me the right to say a few more things about it. You see, it's like what Mrs. Gibbs said, people were made to live 2 by 2. From this point forward, the play does get pretty serious. Some churches say that marriage is a sacrament. I'm not quite sure what they mean with it. I can guess. Well, nature's been pushing and contriving for quite some time now to, as the European fellow said, create a perfect human being. I think she's interested in quantity, but I think she's also interested in quality, too. That's why I'm in the ministry. Now, we can't forget about all the other guests at this wedding. Ancestors, millions of them, who also set out to live 2 by 2. Millions of them. Well, that's all my sermon. It ain't very long anyways.
I don't know why on earth I should be crying. I suppose there's nothing to cry about. It came over me at breakfast this morning. There was Emily eating as she's done for 17 years. And now she's going off to do it in someone else's house. I suppose that's it. And Emily, she suddenly said, I can't eat another mouthful, and she put her head down and she cried. Oh, I've got to say, there's something downright cruel about the way we send our girls out into marriage this way. I hope her girlfriends have told her a thing or two. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. It's cruel, I know. I went to it blind as a bat myself. The whole world's wrong. That's the issue. There they come. Hey, George!
Yay! Fellas, you look scared half to death. Oh, George, don't act so innocent, you old geezer. We know what you're thinking. Don't disappoint the team, big boy.
Enough of that! We used to have an awful lot of that in the old days, Rome and so forth. We're more civilized now. I mean, so they say.
George, what's the matter?
Ma, I don't want to grow old. Why is everyone forcing me to do so?
Why, George, you wanted it.
No, Ma, listen to me.
No, George, you're a man now.
Ma, for the very last time, all I want you to do is call me a fella.
Now, George, why, if anyone should hear you? No, I'm ashamed of you.
Where's Emily?
George, you gave me such a turn.
Cheer up, Ma. I'm getting married.
Let me catch my breath a minute.
No, Emily, Mom, you save Thursday nights for me and Emily. We're gonna come over and have dinner. Oh, why are you crying? We need to get ready for this.
and George over there looking so... I hate him. I wish I were dead.
No, Emily, it's all right. It's all right.
Papa, I don't want to get married.
No, shh, Emily, everything's going to be fine.
Why can't I stay for a while, just as I am?
No,
Let's go away together.
No, Emily, now stop and think of this, all right?
Oh, you remember? All the time, you used to say, all the time, that I was your girl. Let's go away together. Think of all the places we could go. I could work for you. I could keep a house.
No, Emily, that's not how that... Look, Emily, you're just nervous, okay?
George, come here a minute.
You see George here? He's the most wonderful fella in the world. All right, now... Okay?
Papa.
George, I'm giving my daughter to you, all right? You think you can take care of her?
Yes, Mr. Webb, I want to try. Emily, I'm going to do my best. I love you. I need you.
If you love me, help me. All I want is to be loved.
Emily, I want to try my hardest.
And I mean forever, do you hear? And forever and ever.
All right, now, come quick. They're all waiting. Now you know everything will be all right.
Do you, George, take Emily to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold?
Perfectly lovely wedding. Loveliest wedding I ever seen. Oh, I do love a good wedding, don't you? Doesn't she make a lovely bride?
I do.
And do you, Emily, take George to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold in sickness?
Oh, I don't know when I've been to such a lovely wedding, but I always cry. I don't know why that is, but I always cry.
I just like to see young people happy, don't you?
Oh, I think it's lovely.
The ring. I've married over 200 couples in my day. And Marys, and millions of them. The cottage, the go-kart, the Sunday afternoon drives in the Ford, the first rheumatism, the grandchildren, the second rheumatism, the deathbed, the reading of the will. Once in 1,000 times. It's interesting. Now, let's have Mendelssohn's Wedding March.
Oh, I don't know when I've been to such a nice wedding. Don't they make a lovely couple? I'm sure they'll be happy. It's like I always say, happiness, that's the great thing. The important thing is to be happy.
That's all the second act, folks. Now give us just a moment to reset. 9 years have gone by this time, friends. Summer, 1913. Gradual changes in Grover's Corners. Horses are getting rarer. Farmers are coming into town in Fords, and everybody locks their house doors at night. Ain't been any burglars in yet, but everybody's heard about them. Altogether, it hasn't changed much. This is an important place. It's a hilltop, a windy hilltop with the sun and moon and sky and stars. You come up here on a fine afternoon, you look out, you can see range on range of hills. Awful blue they are, up by Lake Sinope and Lake Winnipesaukee. Oh, and if you got a glass, you can look out. You can see the wide mountains, where East Jaffrey and Jaffrey is, and our favorite mountain, Mount Monadnocks, and everything that lay around it, Peterborough and Dublin and Conway and North Conway. And then, quite a ways down, is Grover's Corners. Yes, beautiful spot up here. Mount Laurels and lilacs. You know, I often wonder why people like to be buried in Brooklyn and places when they could die at the same time up here in New Hampshire. These are the old graves, 1670, 1680. Like-minded people who've come a long way to be independent. You know, some people come up and they laugh at the funny names on the tombstones. Oh, they don't do any harm. And town people hire genealogists from the city to come up and look up their ancestors. Make sure they are daughters of the American Revolution and of the Mayflower. I guess that don't do any harm either. Anywhere you go near the human race, there are layers and layers of nonsense. A little further over are some Civil War veterans. Some like-minded fellows who thought the Union ought to be kept together, though they'd never seen more than 50 miles of it themselves. All they knew was the name, friends. The United States of America. The United States of America, and they went and died about it. Over here, you'll see some of your friends. Here's Mrs. Gibbs. Oh, and Mr. Simon Stimson, organist of the Congregational Church. Oh, and Mrs. Soames, who enjoyed the wedding so, you remember, and many others. Here's Wally Webb, editor Webb's boy. He died on a Boy Scout trip to Crawford Notch, North Conway, and he died there. Now, there's some things that we need to take out and talk about, and we don't take them out and look at them very often. We all know that something is eternal, and that something has to do with human beings. It ain't moon, it ain't stars, it ain't even the earth. We all know that something is eternal. There's something way down deep that's eternal about every human being. You know as well as I do that the dead don't stay interested in us living people for very long. Gradually, they lose hold of the earth. And they get weaned away. That's the way I put it, weaned away. Of all the things they had, and the pleasures they had, and the things they suffered, and the people they loved. They're waiting. They're waiting for something important. For something they know is coming. Aren't they waiting for the eternal part of themselves to come out clear? Some things that they say maybe will hurt your feelings, but that's the way it is. Mother and daughter, husband and wife, enemy and enemy, money and miser. And what's left when your identity's gone? And your memories, Mrs. Smith. Oh, here's some living people. Here's Joe Stoddard, our undertaker, overseeing a new made grave. And here's a Grover's Corners boy who had left town to go out west.
Good afternoon, Joe Stoddard.
Oh, good afternoon, good afternoon. Let me see now. Do I know you?
I'm Sam Craig.
Gracious sakes alive, of all people. You know, I should have known you'd be back for the funeral. You've been away a long time, Sam.
I've been gone for over 12 years now. I've been to this mountain buffalo now, Joe. I was actually out east when I heard about my cousin's death. I said, "Come on, little, come and see the old family home. You look well."
Yes, can't complain.
Very sad. Our journey today is Samuel.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I always say I hate to supervise when a young person is taken. Looks like they'll be here in a minute now. I had to get up early today. My son's supervising at the home.
Old Farmer McCarty. I used to do chores for him after school. He had the lumbago.
Yes, we brought Farmer McCarty here a number of years ago now.
And why, this is my Aunt Julia's grave. I'd forgotten that she, of course.
Yes, Doc Gibbs lost his wife 2-3 years ago, about this time. And today's another pretty bad blow for him, too.
That's my sister Carrie's boy, Sam. Sam Craig.
I'm always uncomfortable when they're around.
Simon.
Do they choose their own verses much, Joe?
No, not usual. Mostly the bereaved pick a verse.
Doesn't sound like Aunt Julia. There aren't many of those Ritchie sisters left now. You know, let me see. Do you know where my mother, father's graves are?
Oh, over there with the Craigs. Avenue F.
We're gonna start the church. We used to say he drank a lot.
Nobody was supposed to know about it. He'd seen a peck of trouble. Took his own life, you know.
Oh, did he?
Yep. Hung himself in the attic. They tried to cover it up, but of course word got round. He chose his very own epitaph. You can see it right there. It ain't a verse exactly.
Why, it's just some notes of music. What do they mean?
Oh, I don't know. It was wrote up in the Boston papers at the time, though.
Joe, what did she die of?
Who?
My cousin.
Oh, didn't you know? I had some trouble bringing the baby into the world. Which was her second, though. There's a little boy about 4 years old.
And the graves will be over there?
Yeah, there ain't much more room here among the Gibbses, so they're opening up a whole new Gibbs section over by Avenue B. Oh, you'll excuse me now. I see they're coming.
Who is it, Julia?
My daughter-in-law, Emily Webb.
Well, I declare, the road appears awful muddy. What did she die of, Julia?
In childbirth.
Childbirth. I completely forgot about that. My, wasn't life awful and wonderful?
Wonderful, was it?
Simon, now remember.
I remember Emily's wedding. Wasn't it a lovely wedding? I remember her reading the class poem at graduation exercises. She was the brightest girl who ever graduated from high school. I heard Principal Wilkins say time after time. I called on them at their farm just before I died. Perfectly beautiful farm.
That's on the same road we used to live on. Yup. Red Smart Farm. I always liked that piano. I was hoping you'd sing it.
Hello? Hello, Emily.
Hello, Mrs. Gibbs.
Hello, Mother Gibbs.
Hello, Emily.
Hello. It's raining.
Yes. They'll be gone soon, dear. Just rest yourself.
It seems like it's 1,000. Papa remembered that was my favorite hymn. Wish I'd been here long. I don't like being new here. How do you do, Mr. Stimson?
How do you do, Emily?
Mother Gibbs, we turned that farm into just the best place you ever saw. We thought of you all the time. We wished we could show you the barn, the the great long cement drinking fountain. We bought that with the money you left us.
I did?
Yes, Mother Gibbs, don't you remember? The legacy you left us? It was over $350.
Yes, dear.
There's a patent device on the drinking fountain so that it never overflows or goes below a certain mark. It's fine. It won't be the same to George without me, but it's a lovely barn. A lot of people don't understand, do they?
No, dear, not very much.
It's like they're shut up in these little boxes. It feels as though I knew them last 1,000 years ago. My little boy is spending the day at Mrs. Carter's house today. Mr. Carter, my boy is spending the day at your house.
Is he?
Yes. He loves it so. Mother Gibbs, we have a Ford, too. Never gives us any trouble. I don't drive. Mother Gibbs, when does this feeling go away? Of being one of them? How long does it...
Just wait and be patient, dear.
I know. Look, they're finished. They're going. Mother Gibbs, Father Gibbs is bringing you some of my flowers. He looks just like George, doesn't he? I never realized before how troubled and in the dark a lot of people are. Look at him. I loved him so. Day and night, that's all they are. Troubled.
A little cooler than it was. Yes, that rain's cooled off a bit. Those northeast winds always do the same thing, don't they? If it ain't rain, it's a 3-day blow.
Mother Gibbs, one can go back there into living. I felt it. I was thinking about George and the barn. For a moment, I was there, and my baby was on my lap, plain as day.
Yes, dear. Of course you can.
I can go back there and live all those days again. Why not?
All I can say is, Emily, don't.
But it's true, isn't it? I can go back there and live again.
Some have tried, but they soon come back here.
Don't do it, Emily.
Emily, no, it's not what you think it'd be.
But I won't live over a sad day. I'll choose a happy day. I'll choose the day I first knew I loved George. How could that be painful?
You don't just live it. You watch yourself living it. And as you watch yourself living it, you see what they down there don't. You know the future. You know what's going to happen afterwards.
What's that? Painful? Why?
It's not the only reason why you shouldn't do it, Emily. When you've been here longer, you'll see that our life here is to forget all of that and to think only of what's ahead and to be ready for what's ahead. When you've been here longer, you'll understand.
How can I forget that life? It's all I know. It's all I have.
Emily, it isn't wise. Really, it isn't.
But it's a choice I must make for myself. I'll choose a happy day anyway.
No! At least choose an unimportant day. Choose the least important day of your life. It will be important enough.
Then it can't be since I married George. Or since the baby was born. It can be a birthday though, can't it? I choose my 12th birthday.
February 11th, 1899. Any specific time of day?
I want the whole day.
All right, we'll begin at dawn. If you can remember, it had been snowing the night before. Things had begun clearing up, bearing the roads. Look, sun's coming up.
That's Main Street. And there's Mr. Morgan's drugstore before he changed it. And there's the livery stable.
Yes, it is 1899, 14 years ago.
This is the town I knew as a little girl. And there's the white fence that used to surround our house. Forgotten about that. I love it so. Are they inside?
Yes. Your mother will be coming in just a moment to start breakfast, and your father is coming home on the early morning train.
Is he?
Yes. He'd been away for a few days, up at his old college, giving a speech in, Clinton.
Why, there's Howie Newsom. And there's our police officer, but he's dead. He died.
Whoa, Bessie. Bessie! Morning, Bill.
Morning, Howie.
You're up early.
Oh, had to go save a Polish party. They fell asleep in the snowdrift. Darn near froze to death.
Why, there's Joe Crowell.
Morning, Mr. Warren. Morning, Howie.
Wally, time to get up. Emily, 7 o'clock.
Mama! I'm here. Look at how young Mama looks. I didn't know Mama was ever that young.
You can come dressed by the fire if you must, but be quick about it. Good morning, Mr. Newsom. Oh, it's cold.
10 below by my barn, Miss Webb.
Think of it. Keep yourself wrapped up.
Mama, I can't find my blue hair ribbon anywhere.
Oh, just open your eyes, dear, that's all. I put it for you on your dresser. If it were snaked, it would bite you.
Yes. Yes.
Morning, Bill.
Morning, Mr. Webb. What are you doing up so early?
Well, I just got back from New York State visiting my old college. Anything out here?
Oh, Polish fella fell asleep in the snow. Darn near froze to death.
Well, you must get that in the papers.
Ah, 'twasn't much.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, Charles. How did it go?
Oh, it went all right. I told him a few things here and there. Anything happen here?
Nothing that I can think of. It's been downright cold. Howie Newsom says it's 10 below in his barn.
It's colder than that at Hamilton College. Students' ears are falling off. It ain't Christian.
Charles, it's Emily's birthday. Did you remember to get her something?
Don't worry, I got something right here. Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
Don't interrupt her now, Charles. She's slow enough as it is. Children, I won't ask you again.
I can't bear it. They're so young and beautiful. Why did they ever have to get away? Mama, I'm here. I love you all, everything. I can't look at everything hard enough. Good morning, Mama.
Oh, good morning, dear. Happy birthday and many happy returns. There's a surprise waiting for you on the kitchen table.
Oh, Mama, you shouldn't have.
But birthday or no birthday, I want you to eat your breakfast. I want you to grow up to be a good, strong girl. That and the yellow papers from your Aunt Karen. I reckon you guess who brought in the postcard album. Found it on the doorstep earlier this morning. George Gibbs must have brought it in the cold. Very nice of him.
Oh, George. I'd forgotten.
Chew that bacon good and slow to help keep you warm on a nice cold day.
Mama, just look at me once as though you really saw me. 14 years have gone by. I'm dead, Mama. You're a grandmother now, Mama. I married George Gibbs, Mama. Wally's dead too, Mama. His appendix burst on a camping trip to North Conway. We felt just terrible about it, don't you remember? But just for a moment now, we're together. Just for a moment, we're happy. Let's look at one another.
I found this among your grandmother's things in the attic. I thought you were old enough to wear it, and I figured you would like it.
This is from you. Mama, it's perfect.
Well, I'd hope so. Hung it all over. Your Aunt Nora couldn't find one in Concord, so I had to send all the way to Boston. Wally made something for you. He worked very hard on it in manual training practice, so make sure to make a big fuss. Your father has something for you as well. Not sure what it is myself, but here he comes.
Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
I can't. I can't. It all goes by so fast. We don't have time to really look at one another. I never realized so all that was going on, and I never noticed. Take me back up the hill to my grave. But first, one more look. Bye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Mama. To Papa. Goodbye to clocks ticking. And Mama's sunflowers. And food. And coffee. Goodbye to new ironed dresses. And hot baths and sleeping. And waking up. Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. Do any human beings ever realize life while they live it? Every minute. The saints and poets maybe, they do some. I'm ready to go back.
Were you happy?
Should have listened to you. That's what all human beings are, just blind people.
Look, the sky's clearing up. The stars are coming out.
Mr. Stimson, should have listened to you.
Yes. Now you know. Now you know. That's what it was to be alive. To move about in a cloud of ignorance. To go up and down, trampling on the feelings of those about you. To spend and waste time as though you had a million years. To be always at the mercy of one self-centered passion or the next. Now you know. That's the happy existence you wanted to go back to. Ignorance and blindness.
Simon Stimson, that ain't the whole truth and you know it. Emily, look at that star. I forget its name.
My boy Joel was a sailor. Knew them all. Used to sit on the porch in the evenings and tell them all by name. Yes, sir. Wonderful.
Stars are mighty fine company.
Yes, it is.
Here's one of them coming.
That's funny. Can't hear time for one of them to be up here. Goodness sakes.
Mr. Gibbs, it's George.
And my boy Joel knew the stars. He used to say it took 1 billion years for that speck of light to get to the earth. Doesn't seem like a body could believe it, but that's what he used to say. Millions of years. Well, that ain't no way to behave.
He ought to be home. Mother Gibbs,
Yes, Emily?
they don't understand, do they?
No, dear. I don't understand.
Most everybody's asleep in Grover's Corners. Save for a few lights on in town. Down at the livery stable, people are sitting up and talking, or down at the depot where they're getting ready to flag the trains. There are the stars, doing their old crisscross journeys in the sky. Scholars haven't quite settled the matter yet, but they believe that we are the only living beings. There's nothing up there but chalk and fire. But this one, straining away. The strain is so bad that every 16 hours, gotta lay down and get a rest. $11 in Grover's Corners. You get a good rest too. Good night.